Bucs fans! Bucs win. Bucs win. Bucs win. Hit that shit, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Bucs win. It's all nice. The sweet taste of victory. Now we're rumming, baby. Now we're rumming. It's good to see everyone. Everyone get yourself saddled in. We got a bit of talking about. I'm sure there's people saying we should have lost this game because we're playing for draft picks now. Fuck that shit. We're moving straight on. We're going to build the tempo. We're building it back up. This team is looking. We're looking. We're cooking. And hopefully we can get something in the South. I am Coach Slick. Thank you for joining me on the post-game show. As you can see, we're iced out. These aren't Super Bowl rings. These are something we got for trick-or-treating, I guess. But it looks good, doesn't it? That's what we're about. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, without further ado, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers stomped that ass. Dominant defense from the get-go. They kind of let him in a little bit, and then they closed the fucking door on him and said, no more. And I loved it. If you come into the show, if you want to, comment here, write in what you're drinking and what your thoughts are about the Buccaneers game. We've got the victory shades looking shady. Shades of glory with the rings. I don't know what I'm going to call them yet. And we're New Jersey. New Jersey. Every time the Buccaneers lose a game, I shed the jersey. This jersey will stay on for another week and a week and a week and a week. And hopefully this one doesn't have to come off for a while. We're giving it the old Leroy Salmon. Go back to the vintage. They say you can't win in creamsicle. Well, you can. Bucs fans, what a day. This was a team we should have beat, and this is a team we did beat. So, here we go. What did the Buccaneers do different? It was simple. It was effective. It's kind of what we expect of a Todd Bowles defense to be like 90% of the time. And they did that. Now, my guess, I think I put this down. I can't remember. I said a few days ago about what I thought a score would be. But I generally thought just at the half, when I saw the half, I was like, this is going to end up being like a 17-13 game. Well, the Buccaneers surprised me and scored an extra 3 points, and the Buccaneers defense did even better and held them to 6. That was good defense. Made Derrick Henry look like a nobody. I do have Derrick Henry on one of my fantasy teams. It's probably the one that I'm going to forfeit on. So life is hard, but I would rather my Bucs win. I would rather every one of my fantasy teams burn to the ground and die winless if it meant my Buccaneers could win games. So I trade in championships for playoff appearances for my Bucs any day of the week. So, Buccaneers go into the first quarter. It looked dreary, guys. It really did. We didn't actually score until the second quarter, get a touchdown, and we're leading the half 7-3. We then been put in a field goal, another touchdown. Mike Evans drops a ball in the end zone. Two drops, but the reliable hands of Chris Godwin prevail, and this team made plays when it needed to make plays. Baker bangs up his hand. They tend to run the ball a little bit more. They went very, very conservative towards the end, and that's probably what they needed to do, so that's absolutely fine. And in the end, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the fourth quarter scored themselves 3 points, which basically equals whatever they scored in the fourth quarter, and we are rolling, boys. That's what we're talking about. So we're going to have a look at the game leaders, the stats. I don't do math, so I can't sit there and work out the percentages, so I do apologize. I don't have those up in front of me. So Baker Mayfield goes 18 of 29 with 278, 2 touchdowns and an INT, and the INT was on him. I've been a defender of Baker Mayfield all through the season. A lot of his picks haven't been on him. This one was. He rallied. He came back from it. This Buccaneers team, when we are losing, we ain't losing because of Baker Mayfield's poor play. This isn't like the Jameis Winston years, where we're seeing pick sixes, winning drives to kill the game, start on a losing deficit, that kind of thing. Deep ball to like take away a score off the board, that kind of stuff. That's not been the case. So then your boy Rachaad White, 20 carries, only 2.5 average on a carry, 52 yards. The running wasn't great, and it never will be. That needs to be figured out. Lavonte David moves to 9th at full-time. Jeff Olson comes in, and he's got this little nugget. Lavonte David moves to 9th all-time in tackles for a loss. Let's go. Hey, if you want a Hall of Fame resume, you get in the top 10 or something. You got to be in the top 10, the top 10, the top 10, the top 10. Lavonte David's doing that, and I think he's having a quietly good season. I hope he gets a Pro Bowl, but you know what the NFL's like, and you know all that voting bullshit. NFL is a beast, but he sure needs some sticky gloves. He does. He does. I think he's never been that big ball controller, but he is a big play dude. So his touchdown was awesome to see. I was really pleased with it, to be honest. The way he, like, you could see having a tie wrapped around your waist. Shout out to the wife for saying that. Pays off, and that it paid off there. And then your boy Baker Mayfield, he goes and gets himself in the rushing yards. He went for 3 rushes, got himself 12 yards, and there were some critical first downs in that. Chase Edmonds goes 4 of 9, 2.2. And then Devin Tompkins has the 1 lone carry for 6 yards. Kyle Trask. I don't remember actually seeing him on the field. Oh, he probably took the knee. Your boy, Michael Lynn Evans III. 6 receptions for 143 yards and a touchdown to call it. Chris Godwin goes 4 for 54, no touchdown. Rachaad White, who, in all fairness, is just shy of 100 yards all-purpose, gets himself the touchdown with 2 receptions. Trey Palm with 2 receptions, 21 yards. Cade Otton with 2 receptions and 10 yards. And Devin Tompkins with the lone reception for 5 yards. And then Chase Edmonds for a -2. Defensively, what did we do here? Well, we did a bit of a number. There's a lot of sacks being recorded here. Antoine Winfield Jr., 3 of 3 in the tackles, 3 assists, 3 tackles, and he gets the INT. Unfortunately, the Buccaneers didn't do too much with it, but Antoine Winfield keeps adding to his resume of just how good a safety he is. I expect him to be a Pro Bowler this year. It would be a travesty, an absolute fucking travesty if he's not. And then we go down to Lavonte David, 3 tackles, 2 assists. And then we go to Zion McCullum, 3 tackles, 2 assists. Kalijah Cansey, 3 tackles. Devin White, 2 of 2 and a sack. Shaq Barrett, 2 of 1 and a sack. Ryan Neal, 2 of 1. Yaya Diaby, 2 tackles and a sack. Yaya Diaby's quietly becoming that guy. And I'm starting to see Joe Tryon-Shoyinka not on the field as much. He'll always be I think he'll always be a rotational player just because of how fast he plays. But I generally don't I just don't see him having the long-term job. And I feel that Diaby is going to shake him out. And if it does work, you got to credit this front office for going to find that guy. Yaya Diaby, number 0 Saka, 0 pressure. Then we go to Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. He got himself 2 tackles. Jamal Dean, 1 and 4 assists. Anthony Nelson, 1 and 2 assists. And then Vita Vea with the sack, 1 of 1. Christian Izzen, 1 of 1. Greg Gaines, 1. Marquise Watts, 1. And then it kind of just fizzles out a little bit more there. But guys, wow. Wow. This is what we wanted to see from this Buccaneers team. This was the fire that we've been begging to see from this Tampa Bay team. We finally see it. And I for nothing am pleased just to see it happen for us, because we needed a win big time. But to get it feels great. Yeah, great team win. Happy Victory Monday. Yeah, enjoy your Victory Mondays. Well deserved, because we needed one. What you drinking? Bang it in the comments, because I know you're drinking. And if you ain't drinking, you're eating. So tell me what the food is. So let's have a little look at the Titans. Not that I care, because, well, it's the Titans. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. But let's do it for sake of you. Will Levis goes 19 of 39 for 199 yards. And let's face it, some of those were garbage yards that we just played back and played soft zone on him. Having a Bud Light, I like that. Hey, whatever your poison is, fuck the Dylan Mulvaney crap. Like what you like. That's what all I say is. Don't let outside sources tell you what you can and can't like. That's it. If you like your Bud Light, you like your Bud Light. If you don't, you don't. Try not to go political on this show. And Derrick Henry gets 20. Get this, guys. 24 yards on 11 carries for 2.2. The NFL's King Henry. Didn't do nothing. This was probably the best defense I've seen us play all year. And yes, I know it's the Titans, but you can roll it into the next week, and you can roll it into the next week, and the next week, and the next week. And maybe, you never know, you might actually beat teams like the Niners. And you may go and beat that ass on the Saints again. That's what we want. We're trending upwards. I don't know what the how the Saints game's gone, so I'll have a look at that, how that goes in a second while I'm talking with y'all, and see how it goes. But what was everyone's thoughts? What was everyone feeling? I felt like I'm a little bit worried about Baker's hand, to be honest. Happy he did not trade Henry. He's had a down year this year, and all running backs have a shelf life, and I think he's coming to his. And I think Saints lost. Thank you, Bucs race bolts. That is a good thing to see. Always a pleasurable thing to. The Minnesota Vikings beat that ass. Okay, they go into the bye. We win next week. I do believe we got the. Yeah, I don't think next week's going to be a cakewalk. Yeah, I think we got the Niners. Let's have a look. Yeah, we got the Niners. Okay. But I think by the time we meet up with the Saints, I wouldn't be surprised if we're a game or two up on them. We play. They're our penultimate game of the season. For those of you who don't know what penultimate means, it means the game before ultimate. I know, penultimate. Try and use a few flashy words here and there, just to show that I'm not just a bunch of shades and loud person. I did a thing. My mother would be proud. So let's back to this Buccaneers game. Wow. Just absolutely flying all over the field. Every time Will Levis, he was harassed in the pocket. He's going to go in. He's going to file charges for GBH. He's going to, I don't know if I agree. Do you have previous bodily harm? No, it's probably called something different. He's going to file charges that no Buccaneers can be near him. He's going to have some charges on them because he doesn't want no Buccaneer near him for the next year if he can help it, because they truly harassed him in the pocket. That guy was absolutely beaten around. Every time he threw the ball, he took a shot. And it was so nice to see the Buccaneers defense play like that. I hadn't seen a lot of that this season, and it felt like a very complete game from the Buccaneers defense, and it complemented the offense, who I feel left points on the table, but I will take what I get. We can win with this, but I do want to get a little bit more offense. I need to get a little bit more offense, but it was a good start. It was a good way to get back into winning ways, and I'm over the moon that this Buccaneers team has done what it's needed to do. So let's have a little look at what their wide receivers can do, because we know between them, the running game got roughly less than 50 yards. Less than 50 yards. That's what your Buccaneer defense did. They only ran the ball 16 times. And then we got receiving yards. We got Kyle Phillips. He got himself 3 receptions for 61 yards. And then we got Spears. He got himself 4 for 42. DeAndre Hopkins was who? Yeah, this wide receiver that everyone was like, he's going to change it. I tell you what, I feel for DeAndre Hopkins because he's got really shit judgment. Like, this guy was like, I'm going to leave the Houston Texans and go and find a team that's legit. Where did he go? Arizona. This guy's got no sense. Then he finally gets free, and he can join pretty much any team and sign for nickels if he wanted to, because he's just he wants to get a ring to add to the resume that puts you in Canton, right? That's pretty much what he's trying to do. No one cares that if he gets 1,000 yards with the thing. I mean, it's a good thing, and it does count to Canton, but a ring counts more. What does he do? Instead of going somewhere like the Eagles and signing for like $1 million or signing for $2 million, no. He goes, pardon me. Oh, good Lord. Third time's the charm. I lose a bit of brain there. And he decides to go and sign for the Tennessee Titans, who don't have an answer at quarterback leading into the season. And I still don't think they have an answer at quarterback. And that Mayo chomping bitch got absolutely decimated. I'm sure his girlfriend will leave him again because she seems that type. It is what it is. Without further ado, I have Rick Hughes.
Didn't mean to just hop right in, buddy.
It always does. It always does. They need to sort this out, because I've done it where you're mid-flow and I'm like, I can't come in yet. I can't. That's what she said.
There you go.
So you said this would happen. You predicted it.
Yeah, I've had a beat on this year's team so far. I've been fortunate on that, but the thing I want to point out, look at Houston. All of a sudden, you're looking at Houston very different. Houston's in the playoffs today. If it's the season ends. Buffalo and Cincinnati are not.
Wow. And it's pretty mad when you say it like that, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, this is not an easy deal. It's not. People. Giving the Bucs time over the wrong.
Hang on, Rick. I believe you're on. You keep putting yourself on mute.
And the Bucs in the past. So the Bucs are gonna tear them apart because we weren't good 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and Houston was bad. But Houston's not bad, and the Bucs are rebuilding. So look what happened today. They played a defense down that's not as good, that's struggling. You don't have C.J. Stroud, who is going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
He's a different
draft class. This was a fun game. This was what we needed to do as a team. Was what we needed our guys to do. And we could breathe a little easier. But now I got San Francisco.
Hey, you never know. Never say never.
That's exactly right. You gotta wait and see what happens.
Exactly.
But I mean, stranger things have happened. Any given Sunday.
I started the show with these. Can you see them? Or are you driving all right?
What's that?
Are you on, can you see the screen?
I can sort of. Yeah, go ahead.
There you go.
Nice. There you go.
We started the show in a complete blackout.
There you go.
Like this. I wanted to celebrate this so hard because it felt like a long time, and we deserve it. And
yep.
It was an emphatic victory. It was a nice victory. The defense did exactly. And the one thing that was kind of said in the broadcast is that they said that they simplified. They all sat down. They simplified things, and apparently they watched tape as a whole defense and went, if you've got a problem, make it known. They made their problems known. and they adjusted on that, and you could really see the difference. This team played with so much more confidence in what they were doing. Was it me, or did they? Do you think the consensus was get rid of Neil?
What was that?
The consensus of the watching the tape was get rid of Neil.
Oh yeah.
D. Delaney, they all said D. Delaney couldn't do it, and D. Delaney did it. So,
look, he was somebody who went out and got. You hope he's gonna work. He didn't. Next, you got to move on. And who knows what can happen next week? Who knows what happens in the future? The Falcons are losing. The Saints lost. But you know what's funny, man? Bold haters, or should I say the bowel haters, because nobody knows how to spell.
You know what?
They are out for
we talk about how Buccaneer fans can be quite fickle, and it doesn't matter what happens. They can win a Super Bowl, and they'll still find something. You know, the lottery winner that turns around and goes, "You won $1 million." Yeah, but I got to go and pick up the check, and that's 5 miles away. I got to deal with the hassle of like driving. To pick up the check, and it's such an inconvenience.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But you know what they're going to say? We should have lost this game because we would have got better draft position.
Yep. There's going to be something. People are complaining, and it's just whatever. We won the game. I'm happy. Listen, we are on track. We have the same record as last year without all of those players.
Yep.
Give Bowles some credit. I know it hurts everybody. Give Bowles credit.
Yeah.
He's doing it with his hands tied behind his back. We're still in the hunt for this thing.
The budget was cut, wasn't it?
What's that?
Third of the budget. On your show, you said 33% of the budget was cut from this Buccaneers team of spending money.
Yeah, we are 33% lower than everyone else when it comes to the salary cap. And we had to get rid of. We were $50 million over, so we had to cut $50 million in players off the roster, and then finagle how to get. How to deal without the other 77 million or whatever it was. So we literally are playing at 48% of the salary cap.
And that.
Give Bowles credit, man. I know y'all hate giving Bowles credit. I know everybody loves to rip him to shreds. We've got the same record we had with the greatest quarterback of all time. And all the other guys we had last year. We have the same record.
I would say that's the best.
Screw y'all, go Bucs.
I would say that's the best Bowles coach game I've seen.
Absolutely.
From a defensive standpoint, I know you're kind of hitting on a team. You're hitting on a team that isn't as good, but this team had the same record as at the time we played them. They had the same record as.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen, I actually have to run, but I want to take a second to call in.
Oh, absolutely. Rick, if you're going to go, just shoot out, and big love to you. Thank you for jumping on.
Yes, sir. Go Bucs.
Absolutely. I'll see you soon, man. Look after yourself. Okay, guys, that was Rick Hughes from Bucs Live. Go and check their stuff out. It's every Tuesday at about, I believe it's 9 p.m. Go check them out. Him and Dave, they do a great show, really segmented. They have a section called What's Cooking in the South, where we discuss a little bit of food, but they also discuss what's happening around in the NFC South and the rest of the NFC. We got Don't Be a Baby by Dave, where he will just pick on somebody and tell them, just stop being a baby. It's a hilarious segment. I can't do it justice by describing it, so go check it out. Those guys do a great job, and we love everything that they do. And if you're catching this on the game, Broad Street South on 102.9. So if you listen on the radio, much appreciated. We're just celebrating. We're celebrating a Bucs win here. And I'm running out of things to say, guys, because I just want to bask in it, Mike Evans looks like he's on pace to hit that number, and if he does, that's going to be pretty special for this Buccaneers team too. To say that they had an offensive player that got 10 and hopefully more if they re-sign him, 10 back to back. If I can do back to back that many times, is it worth it? Probably not. But Mike Evans is showing that he can consistently do it. I love this team. I obviously love it when it's winning. I still love this team when we lose. It's just harder sometimes. But a win like that today just puts fire in your belly, puts a smile on your face, and it makes you enjoy being a Bucs fan. It really does. But let's really break down what we need to do going forward. This offense has to try and figure out the run. They still have to try and figure it out because there's going to be teams it's going to be harder to do that against. That was an easier team to run against. It's not enough. They did some things. They closed down a running game in the end, and that's all they wrote about it. Passing game was there. Seeing the bootlegs, seeing the width of the field being taken advantage of. Me and AJ talk about this so many times in our show, which will be tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern. The aftermath, revamped with new graphics and everything. I think it will look prettier. Might not be wearing these shades though. But we will be dissecting everything. And we've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks, we want to see some of these rollout passes, some of these exposing the width of the field. And they did a really good job of that today. There were some deep shots, some connected, some didn't. What I want to see is by the time we get to week 17, is this offense is clicking and the defense is staying as it is. It doesn't regress back to what it was last week. We don't want to see what last week again. We want to put that behind us. I honestly believe that Devin White should primarily be used as a blitzer and nothing else, but because obviously he can play the run. But other than that, keep him away from anything to do with coverage. Bring somebody else in if you need to on pure passing downs, or unless you just want him to blitz. I've not seen anything by him from awareness that he would let a guy just run by him, go to blitz, and then decide, like, what are we doing here? I believe that's a delay blitz, and a delay blitz will probably have a trigger to blitz. So it'll be like, if there's no one releasing, like the Titan doesn't release, you blitz. And I think he licked his lips and went, I get to go eat, and then went, oh shit, someone's running. Is that 7 touchdowns for Mike Evans? I'll have a look. I believe it's 6, but I might be wrong. I'll have a little snoop and have a snoop on what's going on. I believe Mike Evans, let's have a look at what he's at. So, Mike. He is 5 touchdowns. Have they put in the Titans game? They have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're wrong. 6 touchdowns. They haven't added the Titans game to his total yet, but he's around about 700 yards. 700 yards with 6 touchdowns. 700 yards with 6 touchdowns. So he's got more. I think he's got 1 more touchdown again. He's pretty much on pace for what he had last year, I think. Let's have a look. So last year he had 6 touchdowns. So he's already equaled what he's got in touchdowns. All he needs to do now is gain the yardage. A couple more. We always want more touchdowns for Mike. Of course, my wife would be screaming for touchdowns for Mike because Mike gets her to win football games. Mike's on her fantasy team, so she wants him to do well every time. So every time I say Mike Evans ball, she cheers hard. And we love it. We love it in the family. The family loves it, so we all get excited about the game. So nice to get a win. My daughter, before she went to bed, because obviously the game is on much later here. It's like 10 p.m. now in this country. So my children are well and gone to bed. So my daughter said to me, but when I wake up in the morning, can you make sure you tell me the results? So it's kind of cool when you're a little 8-year-old that cares like that. But guys, unless anyone's got anything they want to say, come on the show and have a chat. I think I'm going to draw a line here. I think we've covered everything we need to, because tomorrow is when it really gets to the nitty-gritty. If you guys want to come on camera and talk your Bucs talk, whether you want Coach Bowles out or you want Coach Bowles in, or you got another coach that you'd like to see succeed him, whatever, you want to see another quarterback, that's the place to do it. The aftermath is the place, is the lab, so to speak, to vent. It's therapy. We get it all out in the open. No one's wrong. No one's right. We just listen. But there are some people who are wrong. But they're not wrong in their beliefs. They're just wrong in their facts. I try. I'm a factual person. I try to report all the facts. I don't know all the facts sometimes, though. But without further ado, guys, thanks for everyone tuning in. I really appreciate it. And hey, Buccaneers win. We're gunning for the division now, guys. It's still on. Even if we lose to San Francisco, it's still on. The Saints are feeling us. We've got the Saints coming up. I believe we can beat them. And on the way, if we can pick up some wins and either get equal or above them, that will be the cherry on top. But from now, big love. Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs.